So, our first and only review of the day is going to be for the film Nobody 2. Nobody 2 is a movie starring Bob Odenkirk here. This is, of course, a sequel to the very first Nobody film, which we reviewed when it came out. I think the movie came out, what, a few years ago? The
Hmm.
first Nobody film.
Yeah, I think it was yeah. Wow, it's been 4 years since the first one.
Yeah, four. Okay, so it's been some good distance between the first movie there. And again, you have Bob Odenkirk returning there as the character of Hutch there with his family. We saw that he was lived this life there, trying to live this reclusive life with his family. In the first one, being this retired assassin, but the life pulled him back in there. Now he owes debt to the people there.
Hmm.
If you remember the events of the first movie, he burned all this. What was it, Russian
Oh
money?
yeah, he basically burned the Russian mob's bank in the first movie,
So
and
he's
he's pretty much gone back to work as an assassin in order to pay down that debt.
Yeah, so he's in like I think they say $30 million in debt or something like that. So
It was,
he's
it was kind of like watching Zack Snyder's Justice League, and it's realized it's like you still owe the Conqueror 50,000 worlds. It's like the fuck.
yeah, and he's forced to do these jobs there, working it. And yeah, so he's just still trapped in this life. But after doing so many of these jobs back to back to back to back, it's like he's got no time for his family. It's just all work. And much like overworked fathers, he's like, you know what? It's time for a vacation. It's time to get
Mhm.
closer to the family. We haven't been around each other, had family bonding time in a minute, and let's go to a place that reminds me of my childhood. Let's go to this shitty water park in middle America. I think what did they
Okay.
did they even say where it is?
I think they said it's like I don't think they said where it was, but the commercial they show for it, it's like some stuff they made in the 80s. If you ever watched that documentary on Max, I think it was called Action USA. It was this rundown theme park in upstate New York that was basically you know a just walking safety hazard. It became a badge of honor to get injured there.
Yeah. It's like kinda like that episode of It's Always Sunny where they go to back to, the boardwalk and they have, like they think they have all these fond memories of it, and it's like, "Oh, yeah, like, remember we were kids and we used to do this, now it's a shithole, now it's like yeah, it's like you got a bunch of crazy drugged out people running around, it's like, yeah, it's kinda a little bit like that, it's like it doesn't exactly live up to those kid memories, that you had there. But while he's on vacation at this place, of course, there's some shit going down, and he has to
Yep.
stop it.
Yep, people start fucking with his family, and much like in the first movie, you know what? As a people who has as a dude who has family and friends, people that I care about, I get it.
Yeah. And there's some more gangsters, mobsters that he's dealing with. One of you have a gang there that's run by Sharon Stone there. All right. So, Nick, what are your thoughts here on Nobody Two?
Okay, so I was a really big fan of the first movie. I really liked, Bob Odenkirk in this more action role. I really liked the balance between hard nosed action and comedy that I thought was much better struck in the first movie. And going into this, hearing it was directed by Timo Gitano, who, if you haven't seen The Night Comes for Us or The Shadow Strays, watch those immediately because it feels like the second coming of Gareth Evans when you watched both of those. And with this movie, I really, really dug the first act of this. I really love the first half of this movie where we are seeing, Hutch in this place where, yeah, he's, back doing a job he loves, but, like anybody, it's like a job becomes a job and eventually you need a break. And seeing that in his dynamic with his family, I thought was a very, a very good thing that carried over from the first movie. Even the little glimpses of his assassin life, like this moment you see in the trailer where he's in this elevator, and then what we talk about with great action set pieces, finding ways to escalate tension and show off the choreography that Bob Odenkirk, a lot of it he was doing himself, which thank goodness because that was a really fun thing from the first movie and balancing, a more lighthearted tone from the first than was in the first one.
Mm, yeah.
And I thought
I
the
oh,
opening act was where this movie really shines.
mm. And hey, how's it going there, Marley? How's it going,
Hey,
Marlo's family? Good to see you, man. Um, so I think with the first Nobody, I thought it was okay. I thought it was all right
mhm,
there. I thought it was solid. It was, kind of one of the better John Wick, I guess you could say ripoff movies. I guess
mhm.
you could say in a way.
One of the better
It's
We Have John Wick at Home movies.
Yeah, it was kind of one of the better versions of those. Um, I did appreciate the fact that Bob Odenkirk, who was a guy, I think he's in his 60s, I think.
I think he was 56 when he was in the first movie.
He was 56 when he's in the first one. He actually trained, he got in shape. He,
Mhm.
like you mentioned, like with this sequel, and also in the first movie, he's doing his own stunts. He's doing a lot of his own stunts in this,
Yeah, and
in these
and he
films.
credits a lot of the training he did for the first movie for why he survived the heart attack he suffered on the set of Better Call Saul.
Mm, yeah. So like, yeah, he started eating right, getting in shape, and he looks good. I mean, even in the sequel, you see him in some shirts, you see him in everything like that, and yeah, he looks pretty
Yeah,
good.
you see him in his vacation dad fit.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome there. So, I did appreciate that about the movie. And the action was good, and I like that.
Mhm,
I just thought, well, it was okay, and I thought it was
mhm,
fine. And I think kind of the same thing with this one. It's just kind of okay. I mean, if it doesn't have a dull moment because a lot of it is go 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 in terms of
mhm.
the action. Are you gonna say something more?
Yeah, this movie it's only an hour and like 29 minutes. It's like barely hitting the mark for a feature film. And I think that's both to the movie's detriment and also a positive because the movie is so fast paced that you don't really have time to think about, okay, where is this movie going?
Mm, yeah, and the dynamic with the family. I mean, they try to touch on things like kind of generational trauma
Mhm,
and they, passing down this, do you want to pass down this certain legacy, even with the villain character of it, because you have this corrupt police force in it, and then you have this guy who maybe isn't what he seems to be. You start to learn
mhm.
more about him and then his family and what's happening there and how he was kind of forced into a certain position. And I think that message is kind of handled kind of clumsily. Like they don't really finish that thought all the way out.
Yeah,
Um,
I think even while Timo was, like, filming those scenes, he quickly realized, "Yeah, that's not what people are here for."
and here for to see him shove a phone in somebody's, mouth and break their teeth. That's what people are here for, not that. And it's I mean, do you think the action in this is better than the first one or on par
Uh,
or
I'd say I'd say it's different from the first one. It still carries a lot of what made the action in the first movie work, where it is, shot in a way that it's undeniable that this is Odenkirk doing a lot of his own stunts for it. It keeps a lot of the same kinetic camera movement that's kind of popularized by the action genre, but it's played in a much more lighthearted tone than the first movie because I think that is what separates this from something like John Wick, where it is more of an action comedy than it is a straight action film.
and also the setting of a theme park also kind
Mhm,
of helps it, kind of with the comedic effect of it. And even the action in it, what they do with a lot of the villains and everything like that, like the movie kind of the big climax action set piece is them all storming the
yeah,
art the park.
storming the theme park and turning it into Home Alone, which I thought was cool when I watched it the first time, but upon thinking about it more, is like, wait, wouldn't it have been easier to just get a bunch of guns and shoot them?
Yeah, that's not as fun though. Wouldn't it be more fun if you went into the ball pit and then planted a claymore and did all that like landmine? Like, wouldn't it?
See,
That's
this
more
is
fun.
this is why I don't trust ball pits. That's exactly why.
you know. But yeah, so I mean, just with that setting, I think that allows it to have more fun than even something like John Wick. But even though John Wick, I mean, I think there was some moments that was comedic too. When he beat the fucking knowledge into that one dude, beat the fucking book into him. You did have moments like that in it. Um, yeah, I mean, I think this is still the better we got John Wick at home movies
Mhm.
there. I still wouldn't say that this is something that really super impressed me there. But like I
Mhm.
said, it's just a decent action film, and
Yeah,
I
and
think
yeah, and I'm criticizing this a lot. I think it is kind of very sloppy towards its climax. I think this villain who's played by Sharon Stone, she is pretty much just chewing up the scenery. There isn't much that we as an audience know about her. We never once think that her or Colin Hanks are an actual threat to Hutch, which I think is, a mark of a weaker action movie, but that's not what the intention of this is. The biggest thing about this is, did I have fun? Did I enjoy the movie? Yeah, I did.
yeah.
Would
And
I
Sharon,
recommend somebody go to see it in a theater? Probably not.
I don't know. People in my theater, there was a couple dudes behind me. They were having a good ass time. They were laughing their ass off, man. They were like,
Good for them.
gee, I was like, damn, bro,
It was
calm
like
down.
laughing like Robert De Niro in Cape Fear.
Yeah, like all the lines, they were just laughing their way through. I was like, damn, bro.
Well, I'm happy for them. Good for them.
Yeah, I mean, good for them. They enjoyed. I mean, I don't want to ruin anybody's
I had
enjoyment.
a good time, but not that good.
Yeah, I was like, wow, okay, this is comedy gold to them. You think they were watching fucking Naked Gun? And I was like, this is comedy gold. But yeah, I mean, and that was also, I mean, they did that in the first movie too, because it wasn't. I remember that in the first movie they did like a whole Home Alone type climax at
Mhm,
the end too. With that, it's still a modest budget with this $25 million, which is pretty
mhm,
decent for this. The first one had I think $16 million
mhm,
with it. So yeah, I mean, I think it's somewhat of the decent kind of like I said alternative there. Bob Odenkirk, I'm still impressed by him and what he does there and in these kind of action set pieces. Like I said, I think it kind of fumbles the message in the movie there, what it's trying to say. I don't think it has much thought there. But it's like, hey, listen, y'all, like you said, they just care about the action. I mean,
mhm.
you just want to see him beat the shit out of people, right?
Yeah,
Like,
it was like, yeah, yeah. Could we, do something with this, allegory for generational trauma? Yeah, but it's kind of handled with just a line, and I think a great scene between him and his dad, who's played by Christopher Plummer, about this theme of I want my children to be better than me, and I thought that was handled fairly well for how little it's touched on.
yeah. And Sharon Stone, I mean, she's not really that impressive as a villain. I mean, it's like a villain checklist. Like she wears all black. She
Yep,
come. She,
all
she's got a
black, dude.
pet.
Like if you're psychotic in a movie, you just gotta love dancing.
Yeah, she's dancing. She has a pet animal that she is obsessed with. Uh,
Two henchwomen who, just have no personality except just beat the shit out of whoever she points at.
yeah, that.
And
She just.
also a goon who's played by Daniel Bernhardt, who is reprising who is a different henchman than he was in the first movie.
Oh, I didn't know. Oh, he was in the first movie. Okay, I didn't even notice that. Was he? He was the dude with the blonde hair.
Yeah, he's the guy with the blonde hair. He was also in the first movie as one of like the first Russian goons, and he's the stunt coordinator in here.
Oh, okay. So maybe he'll show up in Nobody 3 as well. You know, he'll have like a toupee on.
As another different as a different henchman.
Yeah. So what will be your final thoughts rating for Nobody 2?
With Nobody 2, I really enjoyed the first movie for as one of the better as one of the better John Wick knockoffs. I think this movie it does a it does an interesting thing by trying to play everything a little bit more lighthearted, but I think in doing so, it loses a little bit of the charm of what made that first movie work. Because yeah, Hutch is, capable. He's basically like the Terminator, but he still gets injured a lot throughout these movies, which is something that I think a lot of the Wick knockoffs don't focus on enough. And all of that is, played fairly well. I really like what Timo Gitano does with directing the action. Even though I think this is a step down from a lot of his work in Indonesia, I'm still curious and excited for what he does next. I know he's attached to the Beekeeper sequel.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. Okay. I look forward to that.
And the climax, I think it is, fairly sloppy. It's, does a lot of the action cliches. But what I can say about this movie is the action is really, really great. It's energetic, it's paced really well. And unlike another movie that we saw, either earlier or last year or late last year or earlier this year, excuse me, with Love Hurts. This movie is remembers to actually be fun.
Yeah, that was earlier this year. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that one hurt to watch. And with this one, I feel like it is entertaining throughout.
Mm, yeah. Yeah. I wasn't. Yeah, I think it is still entertaining, and I wasn't bored throughout it. Um, I just think there just has to be a little bit something more there to it.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, I'd give it a. I'm sorry, you gave it a tune in or?
I wouldn't give this a tune in. I do think that even though I had a good time with it, there's nothing in here that demands that it be seen on the big screen.
No.
I'd say this is like a solid stream it.
I also give it a solid stream, as well. Yeah, for that. I mean, yeah, it's fine. I mean, it's a cool action movie. I mean, unless you're like the dudes who were in the back of me in this theater who were laughing your head off, maybe you give it a peek. I don't know. It'd be funny if you talk to them later and they went like, "Yeah, it was all right." You ask them how's the movie? "Eh, it was okay." Yeah. you know. Uh,
It was like that meme of that one guy on Letterbox who just no matter what, however many stars he gives something, he's just I had fun. I had
yeah,
fun.
yeah. I guess that's all I'm at. Hey, I had fun.
Yeah, and sometimes that's all you really need when you watch a movie.
Yeah. So hey, if you're a fan of nonstop action, if that's your thing, if you see the trailer and you go like, I want to see that, then you pretty much get what you get when you watch the trailer. That's what you do. So yeah, but for me, yeah, good streaming, good strong streaming for me for nobody to. I'm excited. You said the director's gonna do Beekeeper 2, so I'm
Yeah,
excited.
that's his next project. I think this is besides a short that he co-directed with Gareth Evans in VHS 2 and also in VHS 94 which he directed a segment on. Um this is like his first like big Hollywood thing. All of his work previously was in Indonesia.
Mm, okay, cool debut there. All right, so two streamings for nobody to.